Hello friends, Harshal here and welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'll be discussing on ECR as well as how to push Docker image in ECR repository, and in the end, we will create ECS cluster using Farget. So the first thing is that what is ECR? ECR is Amazon Elastic Container Registry, where you can create a repository and you able to save your you able to push your Docker images in that repository. Okay, you can make visibility private or public as you want. Okay, then the access is also controlled through IAM. Okay, so IAM also has a very important role in this in ECR. So how can we do it? So I'll tell you, but okay, but first of all, let me tell you about this. Okay, so here is the Docker file. Okay, and some configurations we can see here. So let us say in the Docker file, if I click on it, okay, so here you can see the format. So this is how you can create the Docker file. So from means that httpd 2.4, it means that httpd with the version 2.4, this Docker image will be automatically pulled or downloaded from Docker Hub, right? Then it will run these commands, right? So first of all, this image will get downloaded or pulled from the Docker Hub. After that, this app get update, it will be updated, and then it will install this curl jq and then remove this, right? Then copy html, whatever in the index.html inside this htdocs, right? Public html into this. Then they have add some bootstrap script, then chmod, and it will run the bootstrap, and then you can see here cmd, right? So first of all, it will download it, and then it will run or do these tasks whatever we have defined here. Okay, now what is bootstrap, right? Here the bootstrap is used to add container metadata to index.html, right? So it is also a bash script. Okay, it means that this is the script that will be run. When it will be run, it will be run by this into this Docker image. Okay, and directly this script, that bootstrap script, will be run. And this bootstrap script is nothing but to is nothing but it is used for to pick up some metadata information around ECS, around container, right? So that's why this bootstrap is used for. Okay, now uh, there are again some this is the readme file, that is okay. So how to log in ECR, so okay, this is not important file. Okay, so this Docker image, this Docker file is important, bootstrap file is important, and here you can see some environment variable, right? So that is also that ECS enable task IAM role, that is enabled. Okay, that's why it is true. Then there are some cluster, that is my cluster, so assign EC2 instance to an ECS cluster, so everything will be created. Okay, so this is nothing but the environment variable. And here in public HTML there is some index HTML. So this one is the index HTML, that is hello world from custom Docker image. This image is running on ECS. Here's some information about this container and task. So what happened, this will be displayed. Okay, this is the HTTP HTML text. So this text will be displayed over internet, and after when I will create a cluster using Farget. Okay, and then we will we will check the URL or DNS. We will check the DNS. There you will able to see this text, right? So because this is index.html and it will be displayed over the internet, right? So when we create, you will come to know easily. Okay, so now we are here. So this is public.html, and here inside the file this is public.html, and inside that public.html there is index.html file, and that file will be copied into htdocs, right? So this is how it works. Okay, so I told you everything about the files, right? About the Docker file. So this is how Docker file is, and we need to build a Docker here. Once we build a Docker image, then what happen? The image will be the cumulative image will be created, and that we call it a Docker image. So for creating the Docker image, let me open the terminal, and okay, so we are in terminal here. So for Docker, what we have to do, we need to give sudo privileges. So I'm giving the sudo privileges. Okay, I have given privileges. Then let me go inside that file. So where it is, okay, home duck, then desktop, then DevOps, then code, cd ECS. Okay, so I'm here in the ECS where the actual Docker file is available. So let me show you. See, here is the Docker file is available. We are in the here in ECS. Okay, so now if you want to build Docker image, then simply go here, Docker, then build. Okay, give whatever name you want to give. So let me give the name, that is Herschel Cloud. Okay, whatever, Herschel. Okay, or I can give name here http demo ECS, right? And I wanted to create that image here or here only. Okay, so that's why dot. There is one okay, there is hyphen t should be given. Okay, so now we have created a Docker image. Okay, so here is the image, here is the file. Docker file is created, and there are some files which is supported to the Docker file. So all the files come together, and we have built an image. So if you want to check how image, so let me Docker, let me show you Docker image ls. So here you can see that is http docker demo ECS, right? So this is the image that we have created. Okay, so now we have created an image, right? Okay, now go to ECR and here, and okay, and now this image I wanted to push here inside ECR repository. So create an repository with the private visibility, give name, that is Herschel Cloud. I'm giving the name. So now repository has been created, right? So inside, if I go inside repository, there is no image. Okay. And how can we push an image? How can we push the image? Simply just click here. Okay, go to repository and click here and view push command. So here you will get all the commands, and by running these commands you actually push images, docker images into the repository. Okay, but before now there is one more thing that you have to do, that is we have to go inside IAM. Right here inside IAM we have to we should have a user. Let me show you. There are two users. Okay, so I'm just deleting it so that from scratch I would tell you how can we create the user and give the permissions, registry permissions. So let me add a user. Let us say user name is ECS user, right? Then I'm giving the programmatic access, or you can give AWS management console access as well. So go to next, and I just wanted to attach existing policy directly, and that existing policy is like registry. So here is Amazon EC2 container registry full access. So simply add this registry, this access, and go next. And now we have created a user, and that user has registry access, EC2 container registry access. So okay, and this access key we have to save it, because that we need those credentials. Okay, so here is the access key ID, and then secret access. So copying it and so paste here. Okay, so access key ID and the secret access key both are important for the authentication. Okay, so okay, so here you must have AWS installed in your system. So AWS, let me check AWS version. So here the AWS is already installed in my system, and you can see the version here, AWS CLI version. If you don't know how to install AWS, then simply I would like to suggest to you simply go to okay, here is the documentation. Simply go to the documentation, and here write it down, install AWS CLI, right? Simply click on it, and AWS CLI user, installing AWS. Okay, this is not the CLI. Okay, go inside here. So here install and update, right? And here if you are using Linux, then simply go down and do these steps. Okay, first of all download from here, and then simply go and third step, then four steps. Simply just you have to copy and paste here in your terminal, and AWS will be automatically downloaded. right? So everything up to step 5, right? If you are using Mac OS, then you will get steps here in the Mac OS option. If you are using Windows, then simply click here and you will get all the steps. So this is how you will be able to install AWS CLI in your system. Okay, so I have already installed AWS in my system. Then the second thing that you should install in your system uh, is Docker. Okay, so Docker is also installed in my system, and this is the version. So this is the prerequisite: AWS CLI and Docker. So both needs to be installed in your system. And IAM, you should have create a user with registry permission, right? EC2 container registry permission. So if I click here and let me check the permission, so here in the permission you can see EC2 container registry full access, right? We are good here. And now go to Amazon ECR. So inside ECR, if you click here to push command for Herschel Cloud is the repository. So first of all, we need to retrieve an authentication token and authenticate your Docker client to your registry. Before that, what you have to do, simply you have to configure AWS. So that is AWS configure, right? And here you have to write access key. So that is the access key. Now the next one is secret access key. This is copy, paste. Okay. US is 2. No, it is not the US is 2. So simply check US West 1. So US West 1 JSON, that's fine, right? So okay, so now we can retrieve an authentication token and authenticate your Docker client to your registry. So actually we are using a token. Authentication token will be retrieved, and then we able to push Docker image from Docker client to the repository, ECR repository. So yeah, copy it simply and then paste here, and now it will be successful, right? So here you can see login is succeeded. So we have actually logged in, and now the next step is build Docker image using the following command. So this is the this is for building the application, for building the Docker, right? Docker file. So we already have built a Docker file, but okay, we are building again. Simply let me do that. So this is Docker build for building the Docker file, so which is okay. So we have done the second step, that is we have built a Docker file, but actually we have already built a Docker file before that. So let me show you. Docker image, then ls. Now here you can see this is Herschel Cloud, right? So this is the latest. Okay, so this is Herschel Cloud, tag is latest, and these are all, right? So this was the file that we had already built, but that's fine. Okay, now the next one is okay, so now next one is after build complete. Okay, here after build completes, tag your image so you can push the image to this repository. Okay, so I'm clicking on click here. Okay, so now what we have to do, we have to tag the image with this one, right? Herschel Cloud that latest to this, sorry, yeah, this URI, right? So we start from 4417 up to that cloud Herschel Cloud latest. So this is the URI. We are actually tagging that image to the URI. You can tag different image as well. Okay, but we have this image, and also we can see. Let me show you. Docker image. Docker image ls, right? So here are so many. Okay, so let me tag this one. So let me copy it and then latest, right? uh, where it goes. This is for tagging. Okay, so now I would like to tag this image. Now copy, and this is paste, right? Now okay, so I have successfully tagged the image, and now the next one is run following command to push this image to your newly created AWS repository. So actually we are pushing image now. So let's paste here, and it started pushing. So in a moment it will be pushed to the Docker, ECR Docker. And if I go here in ECR Docker, sorry, repository. So inside repository, okay, there is nothing till now. It has to be completed. Yes, it is completed now. And if I go here and let me refresh it, so yeah, you can see the image has been pushed here inside the repository. So this is how we can push the images, Docker images, inside the repository. Okay, that is good. And now what we have to do, uh, we we need to, now create we have to create ECS. Go to ECS and just create a cluster by using Farget. So the first thing, that what is Farget? So Farget is uh, it is the serverless. Like uh, you don't need to create any EC2, right? uh, you create a cluster with the EC2, and then you run some containers inside it. Okay, so just forget that we don't have to manage EC2 and all the stuffs. Okay, Farget is serverless. No need to provision EC2 instances. It just create a task destination, and AWS will run our containers for us. So basically what you have to do, simply you need to create a definitions, right? And nothing you have to worry about it. And then to scale, just increase the task number. So the number of tasks that you increase or decrease according to that, it will scale up or scale down. So okay, so let me tell you how it let me show you the demonstration. So first of all, we have to create a cluster. So I'm creating the cluster. So here EC2 Linux plus networking, we are not going with EC2 networking or EC2 window. Okay, so simply networking here. Okay, it will create a cluster with either AWS Farget, for use with either AWS Fargate, Windows Linux, or with external instance capacity. So okay, we are using Fargate. It is supported by the Fargate. Now just click here and go to next. So the cluster name that we want to give, that is Fargate cluster. Let me give the name, that is Fargate cluster. Okay, then everything is good, no need to do anything. Okay, I don't want to create any new VPC and all the stuffs. Okay, just want to go with default VPC. So yeah, cluster is created. So view cluster, so there is one cluster is created with the name of Fargate cluster. Now this is register container instances, that is 0, then Fargate is 0. So okay, now the second step, that we need to create task definition. So just create a task definition, go with the Fargate. Okay, go to next. Now Fargate, let me give the name, that is HTTP task. Okay, that is fine. Fargate, no need to give task role. Then network mode, that is fine. Operating system family. Okay, here the memory I'm giving here, that is 500 MB, and the virtual CPU I would like to give, that is 0.25, 1/4 of the actual virtual CPU. So yeah, it is valid CPU for 0.5 GB memory, is that is okay. And okay, then I need to add a container. So httpd container here. Okay, you can give the image and tag, which is directly pull a Docker image from Docker Hub, or you can simply give the repository URI. Okay, now let me go here inside ECR, go to ECR. Okay, here inside ECR, if you check, so here this is the URI, right? So simply copy it and yeah, go here and just paste here, that. Okay, no, this is not the URI. Okay, go inside the repository, and here you can see that copy URI. Simply copy URI from here. Okay, instead of that repository URI, simply copy URI from inside that image. Okay, now it's perfect. Okay, so yeah, we are good. And now hard limit I'm giving, that is 512. Then the port number that I wanted to use here, that is port 80. And everything is good. So I'm adding this, and okay, so now I'm creating the HTTP task. So HTTP task is created, it is successfully created. Okay, so the task name is HTTP task version 1 or revision 1. Simply go to cluster, and inside cluster, if you click here, And here now we have to create a service. Simply go to create. We are using Farget, so click on it. So it will automatically take the operating system family. You can select as per your need. Okay, so eventually EC2 will not be created at all, so no need to worry. Then task definition, so it will take a task that I had already created. Okay, the revision is latest, that is 1, right? And yeah, the cluster name automatically it detected. The service name, that is Farget service. Okay, Farget service. Now the number of tasks I would like to run, that is number of tasks, that is 2. You want to run any number of tasks that you want, so that is fine. Then okay, go with the rolling update. Then everything should be as it is. Go to the next step, and now you have to select the cluster VPC. Okay, this is the default VPC, and just select the subnets that is available. So on, I guess only 2 subnets are available. Yes, only 2 subnets are available here in this North California, Northern California region. Then the security group. Okay, you can even edit the security group if you have it, or you can go with that Farget 932. That security group will be automatically created. Okay, auto assign public, that is okay. No need to worry about that. So okay, now I would like to add some application load balancer. So okay, I'll go with the application load balancer. Then there is no application load balancer now, so we have to create the application load balancer in EC2 console. Simply open EC2 console on new tab. Here in the application load balancer, simply create it. Give the application now Farget application load balancer. Simply we have to create the application load balancer, and then there are 2 subnets. Simply click on it. Okay, and here you should go here inside and just create a security group. Okay, just like Farget. Okay, here is the Farget security group. I give the name, you can give any name. Okay, that's fine. And simply you have to add inbound rule, and that rule will be 80. The port number should be 80, right? And now anywhere. So okay, perfect. And now create security group. Okay, security group for Farget. Now security group has been created. So okay, so now I just, here you can see that Farget security group, and I just delete the default security group for now. Here in the listener and routing, we need to create a target group. Okay, simply go here and create a target group. Just put it as it is. Just give the target group name, that is I'm giving TG, target group. Okay, for Farget target group. Then port 80, HTTP. So everything is as it is. Just give the name. We don't have to do much here. So if there is no instance, okay, no instance available, so no need to worry about that. Instance will not be created at all, so that's why create target group. Okay, we are just creating the target group which do not added in EC2 instance. Right, so the target group is now created with the name of Farget TG. So simply I go here, sorry, here in the load balancer, because load balancer is not yet completed. Okay, simply refresh it, and now you can see the Farget TG target group. If you go down, then now create the load balancer, and this is how you have created the load balancer, successfully created. So if I wanted to view, here simply load balancer is created, right? And if you wanted to listeners, okay, it listens to port 80, so this is HTTP 80, and it will forward it to the target group, right? Okay, so now go to ECS and just refresh it. It will automatically take the application load balancer that we had just created. Okay, and now container name, port, that is okay, that is 80, port 80. So yes, create new. So that is we should take, that is port 80 HTTP. Now the Farget service, it will create the target group. Okay, so now here simply give slash sign 1. It will take 1, so health check path should be, and go to the next. Here set auto scaling, no, we don't need any auto scaling group for desired count. So yeah, now create the service. So service will be created, so it is just created now. And if we want to view this status, so it started, it will run, so it is active now, the status is active now. And so now it is the last status is showing pending, so it will be in running state. Yes, it is now running. So there are 2 tasks is created, right, by using Farget. Okay, there are 2 tasks is created, and the definition that we have added in the service, that is HTTP task revision 1, right? So you can see all the details here, right? The target group name, then container name, that is container port. And if you go here in the cluster, you can see registered container instance is 0. Okay, no instance is created, no container instance is created. Okay, only running task is showing, that is 2 Farget. Okay, active service count, that is 1. Okay, if you go here in the task, now you can see the container instance. Okay, there is no container instance at all, both are empty. So that is the magic of Farget. Okay, no, we don't need to do provision, we don't need to manage any EC2 instance or like that. Okay, or container instance. Okay, so now what we have to do, simply go to load balancer. So here if I go in the load balancer, right, so go to the description, and here you can see that DNS name, simply just click on it. And as I said before, that here is the index.html, so that will be displayed. Okay, and what, so here if I go in the ECS, right, so that bootstrap information, so everything that metadata, that will be displayed as well, right? So okay, so let me show you these things. So that is the DNS of load balancer. So where is the load balancer? Here is the load balancer, and that is Farget ALB. This is the DNS name. So just we just wanted to check this URL. So now you can see this is the index HTML, and these are the metadata, right? So bootstrap, which is used for showing the ECS metadata. So here, if you can see that the ECS cluster name is Farget cluster, then container name is HTTPD container, here task ARN, right? And then task definition family, that is HTTPD family, and the task definition version, that is 1. So everything you can see here. Okay, so docker name is HTTPD container, name is container, and this is the Herschel latest, right? That is the image or URI. This is the URI. So so this is the end of this video. So I hope that you understand how to basically create cluster by using Farget, and uh, in this video also you understand that how can we push the image or pull the image in the repository or from the repository, ECR repository. Okay, simply if you want to pull the image, you just need to do one thing. Okay, instead of push, you should give name, that is pull. Then it will pull the image from the repository. So pulling from Herschel cloud, this is the ECR repository. So from this repository the image has been pulled. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is the end of the video, and thank you so much guys for watching my video. Have a good day. Bye.